At midnight, Billionaire's door opens to a little girl. Her touching message transforms his life. Jack Thompson, a billionaire in the heart of New York City, stood at the window of his penthouse, watching the storm rage outside. Powerful winds howled, and the snow fell heavily, blanketing the vibrant city in a cold embrace. Inside, he was cocooned in absolute luxury, surrounded by expensive art, plush furniture, and the glimmer of his skyscraper office. Yet, despite it all, an overwhelming emptiness consumed him. He had sacrificed relationships on the altar of his relentless pursuit of wealth. As midnight approached, a desperate knock shattered the silence. Startled, Jack opened the door to the sight of a small girl, soaked to the bone and trembling in the fierce cold. Her bright, hopeful eyes pierced through the darkness, and in that moment, something in Jack stirred. "Please, sir, I need to find my dad," she whispered, her voice barely audible over the storm. Confusion and concern washed over Jack. This child named Lily was on a mission, delivering a message to her estranged father, a war veteran battling demons he couldn't escape. Jack hesitated. Opening his door to a stranger felt dangerous, but her innocence tugged at his heartstrings. Finally, he stepped aside and ushered her into the warm glow of his home. It felt wrong to invite her into his lavish lifestyle while she was fragile as a snowflake. Yet, as she settled in, the cozy warmth of his living room melted some of that icy isolation within him. The contrast was striking. Her innocent spirit shone brightly against the gold and marble of his golden cage. "Thank you, Mr. Thompson," she said with a smile that lit up her face. As they shared stories, she spoke about love and longing, her dream to reunite her family, and the sacrifices her father made. Jack listened, enraptured. Her tales of hope forced him to confront his own regrets, the years spent accumulating wealth while neglecting family bonds. Outside, the storm raged, mirroring the tempest within him. In a moment that crushed him, Lily revealed her father's eviction notice and his struggles with PTSD. Jack's heart sank. He had built an empire, but it suddenly felt heavy and burdensome. The truth hit him like a bolt of lightning. Money couldn't replace what he had lost. As he reflected on the spirit of sacrifice that surrounded Lily and her father, his eyes filled with tears. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. The emotional intensity peaked as Jack felt the weight of Lily's situation crashing down on him. Her father's sacrifices echoed in his own life, highlighting his missed opportunities to connect with the world around him. Suddenly inspired, he scribbled a superficial plan on a napkin to help her father, but reality hit hard when it backfired. Nothing had changed. As Jack stood at this crossroads of wealth and emotion, he realized that true philanthropy went beyond just writing checks. True connection required action from the heart. As he faced his demons and the storm outside raged on, Jack felt something shifting inside him. Hope began to sprout amidst the despair. He envisioned a foundation dedicated to supporting veterans and their families, a real chance to honor Lily's spirit and rediscover the meaning of relationship and community. Just as momentum built within him, a phone call disrupted the moment, threatening to unravel everything he had just begun to rebuild. The race against time for redemption, connection, and healing had begun, leaving Jack haunted by one looming question. Could he truly break free from the icy grip of his wealth and embrace a warmer, more meaningful life? The phone buzzed insistently on the table, jolting Jack back to reality. His heart raced as he snatched it up, glancing at the caller ID. It was his top executive, Mark, the last person he wanted to deal with amidst this moment of awakening. The urgency in the notifications echoed the chaos around him. "Jack, we've got to talk about the quarterly report." Mark's voice crackled through the speaker, laced with anxiety. "Investors are getting restless. Their expectations are sky-high. The weight of the world seemed to press down on Jack. Every tick of the clock felt suffocating. He briefly glanced at Lily, who tucked her tiny legs under herself on the couch, her fingers wrapped around a steaming cup of cocoa he had given her. The innocence in her expression stirred something deep within, igniting his internal conflict. "Can we put that off?" Jack said, his tone startlingly firm, surprising even himself. "I need to focus on something else right now." "Something else?" Mark echoed, confusion evident in his voice. "This is a critical moment for the company. You can't just..." "I said, I need to focus," Jack barked, the words bursting forth like a dam breaking. He took a deep breath, trying to regain composure. "Just give me some time. I'll call you back." He ended the call, the weight of the decision swirling in his mind. For too long, he had let his business dictate his life. The empire he had built felt empty, like an unfilled treasure chest. When had he last felt truly alive? Was it worth sacrificing everything he might still build? Lily stirred from her thoughts, glancing at him with an unexpected depth of understanding. Without prompting, she spoke. "Mr. Thompson, is it hard to be a billionaire?" Jack blinked, caught off guard by her question. "You'd think it would be easy," he started, searching for the right words. "But sometimes, it feels like I'm missing out on what really matters. Like love and family." Her eyes sparkled with innocence. "Like my dad? He just wants me and Mom to be together again. He misses us." The sincerity in her tone hit him hard. Her belief in something good, something together, struck a chord. "What if we help him?" Jack's voice wavered slightly, but a renewed sense of purpose rippled through him. "We could find a way to help your dad get back on his feet. Maybe he just needs someone to believe in him." Lily's face lit up. "You mean it? You'd really help him?" The hope radiating from her small frame was like a beacon, warming the cold space between them. "Yes, I would," Jack replied, a smile breaking through his previously stoic demeanor. "But it has to be more than just money. We need to reach out, connect with him. Genuinely." As they spoke about plans to set up a meeting with her father, Jack envisioned the foundation that could help veterans find peace and stability. Instead of keeping his wealth hidden behind walls of luxury, he could use it to soften the lives of others. But just as a sense of clarity began to envelop him, another call flashed across Jack's phone screen. This time it was the eviction office. His heart plummeted as he realized the urgency of the situation. "Lily," he said softly, "we have a lot of work to do, and I need your help." Her eyes widened with excitement, and despite the weight of the world resting on his shoulders, he felt a flicker of hope. They were two unlikely allies embarking on a journey of connection. Outside, the wind continued to howl, but inside, something new was stirring. Could they really make a difference in her father's life? Was it possible to find redemption not just for himself, but for a family torn apart by struggles? As they began to formulate a plan, Jack's phone buzzed once more, this time from an unknown number. Each vibration felt like a countdown to a change he couldn't foresee, layering excitement and dread in equal measure. What new turn was waiting for him on the other end of that call? Jack hesitated before picking up the phone again. The uncertainty clawed at him, but curiosity won out. He swiped the screen, bringing the call to his ear. "Hello?" His voice was steady despite the flutter in his chest. "Mr. Thompson? It's Diana. We spoke last week about the charity gala?" The voice was familiar but tinged with urgency. "I have some news regarding your donation, and about Lily's father." At the mention of Lily's father, Jack's breath caught in his throat. "What news?" "His eviction is imminent. You need to act quickly if you want to help him before it's too late." The words struck Jack like a jolt of ice water, sending a shiver down his spine. He glanced at Lily, who was now engrossed in doodling on a notepad, her little brow furrowed in concentration. "What do you suggest?" Jack asked, his focus sharp. "We're arranging a counseling session for him with potential employers and support services. If you want him there, you need to reach out. Let him know he's not alone." Jack took a moment to process. Here he was, sitting in his luxurious living room, and yet a man was losing his home just outside the warm bubble of his world. "I'll do it," Jack said, surprising even himself. "I'll make the call." "Thank you, Diana." He ended the call, overwhelmed with emotion. His heart raced as he faced Lily, who had stopped doodling and was watching him with wide eyes, sensing the shift in energy. "Mr. Thompson, are we going to help?" she asked, her voice hopeful. "Yes, we are," he replied, voice low but filled with determination. "But I need you to help me call your dad. You know him best. I want you to talk to him first." Lily's eyes sparkled once more. "Really? I can help?" "Absolutely. You're the one who understands what he needs. You've got this." They gathered around the table where Jack kept a small notebook filled with family names and local contacts. With every name he flipped through, he could feel the weight of responsibility pressing down on him. Jack took a deep breath and tapped on Lily's shoulder. "Let us write down a list of questions you want to ask him." They jotted down thoughts. Lily's dreamy imagination birthed questions he hadn't even considered. "Is it really bad at the shelter? Will he be okay? Can he come live with us?" Each inquiry chipped away at the shell Jack had built around his heart. He felt the floodgates of empathy open, letting in the rawness of unfiltered caring. When Jack entered her father's number into his phone, he hesitated over the call button. What if he didn't have the right words? But before he could second-guess himself, Lily took the phone gently out of his hands and nodded, her little chin lifting with resolve. "Let me do it." "Okay." Jack smiled at her, pride swelling in his chest. He felt as if the roles had reversed. She was showing him how to connect when he felt so lost. She pressed the number and held the phone to her ear. And as the rings echoed through the space, Jack held his breath. "Daddy, it's me." Her voice beamed with childlike joy, infectious and vibrant. Jack couldn't help but listen intently, feeling for the first time in so long that love could turn a world around. Jack watched Lily talk, her little finger gesticulating with passion. She was sharing her plans, sparking hope like a match to kindling. But then, as the conversation unfolded, Jack noticed a shadow creep across her face. "But what if they take your things, Dad? You can come with us. We're gonna make everything okay." Jack's heart twisted at the weight of her words. The emotional depth was stark, almost unbearable. What would happen if they couldn't help? Lily clutched the phone tightly, her innocence shielding her from despair. He wanted to comfort her, to promise her everything would be all right. But a knot in his gut reminded him that sometimes good intentions don't fix things. As Jack held on to hope, he felt the old world he'd been part of begin to shift. Maybe this was his chance to change directions, to invest in something greater. "Can we really do this, Jack?" he heard Lily whisper suddenly, hanging up the phone with wide eyes. Jack smiled, taking her tiny hand in his. "Yes, we will." But doubts lingered in the back of his mind, like shadows waiting to ensnare them. Though they had started their mission, a stark reality loomed large. Time was running out. What would be the first step towards their bigger dream? And how would they face the challenges ahead? Jack felt a mixture of excitement and anxiety ripple through him as he sat down at the table again. Lily was still buzzing with energy, her mind racing with ideas on how to help her dad. He took a moment to admire her innocence, feeling gratitude that such a spirit could thrive amid the chaos surrounding them. "Okay, what's next?" Lily asked, breaking into his thoughts, her voice filled with determination. Jack ran his fingers through his hair, seeking clarity. "We need to reach out to the shelter and find out how we can help. Maybe we can donate some items, 2 things he might need. Like clothes and toys?" she suggested, light sparking in her eyes. He chuckled softly, shaking his head. "Maybe not toys, but definitely clothes, food, and maybe even some hygiene products." Lily nodded in agreement. "And I want to make him something special, like a card or a picture." "He'll love that." Her enthusiasm washed away his lingering doubts. "Picture sounds perfect, Lil. That'll show him we care." They decided to start by gathering a list of items to donate. Jack took some cardboard boxes from the garage, and they worked side by side, Lily enthusiastically penning down each item they would gather. As the boxes filled, The heavy burden on Jack's heart began to lift slightly. The day sped by, but the night brought a chill that settled deep in his bones. Despite the cold, Jack felt a growing warmth whenever he looked at Lily. She was the heart of their mission, breathing life into ideas that felt Herculean before. When the moment finally came to call the shelter, Jack's nervousness returned. He felt the urgency pulsating in the air. Holding the phone in one hand, he looked at Lily. "Are you ready?" "Yes," she chirped, her eyes glistening with anticipation. He dialed, the tone echoing in the silence. Every ring felt like a countdown. "Shelter of Hope. How can I help you?" A warm voice answered. Jack took a deep breath. "Hi, my name is Jack Thompson. I'm calling about helping a resident." "Someone Lily's dad?" The voice interrupted kindly. "Yes." "How did you know?" "I'm sorry, sir. Word travels fast here when it comes to providing help for our guests. How can we assist you?" After exchanging information, Jack shared in detail what they could offer. Clothing, food, and Lily's heartfelt card. It was remarkable how, with each word, he felt the truth of their intentions spill out, saturating the conversation with hope. Toward the end, the conversation shifted. "I'll let him know you called. He's really going through a tough time. But I think this will boost his spirits," the staff member assured gently. Jack hung up, his heart beating in a rhythm of hope and fear. "We did it, Lily. They're going to connect with your dad." Lily jumped up, clapping her hands. "We're going to save him. Let us not get ahead of ourselves," Jack cautioned, but the smile on his face betrayed his doubt. He felt like they were climbing a steep mountain, inching toward the summit with nothing but faith to propel them forward. As they gathered the last of the items together, Jack thought about what lay ahead. Would they truly be able to help? Could their small acts of kindness create a ripple effect? Lily caught his gaze, her little face serious. "Jack, do you think we can really make everything okay?" He crouched down to meet her eyes. "I believe we can, with all my heart. But we have to be strong together." Just as he felt a bond budding between them, his phone vibrated sharply on the table. He picked it up and saw a message from Diana, an unread notification appearing ominously. "We need to talk. Important update about Lily's dad." His pulse quickened. What could it be? "Everything okay?" Lily asked, concern knitting her brows. Jack forced a smile. "I'm not sure yet, but I'll keep you in the loop." Swallowing the growing lump in his throat, he opened the message. Change was coming fast, and uncertainty loomed over them like a dark cloud. Could it push them toward the light, or would it pull them deeper into shadow? The weight of the night thickened around him as he pondered the choices ahead. What lay in wait beyond the horizon, both for them and Lily's dad? Jack felt the breath catch in his throat as he focused on the message from Diana. The words danced before him, but he couldn't shake the feeling that they held something heavy, like a storm brewing, just beyond the horizon. "Do you want to read it?" Lily asked, her innocent curiosity threading a smile into Jack's anxious heart. "No, sweetie," he replied, putting the phone down gently. "It's adult stuff. Nothing for you to worry about." But worry seeped into every corner of his mind. He couldn't shake the nagging thought about how much was riding on tomorrow. The phone call to the shelter had lit a spark, and Jack wanted to fan that flame into a roaring fire that would lead Lily's dad back into their lives. The impulse to protect both Lily and her father gripped him, making the weight of his responsibility feel suffocating. "Hey, let us work on your picture for him instead," Jack suggested, desperately grasping for a distraction. Lily's face brightened as she gathered her crayons and paper, butterflies dancing in her chest. "I want it to be happy. Maybe I'll draw a big sun and a rainbow. That'll make him smile." "Good idea. Sunshine and rainbows can chase away the clouds," he said, softening as he watched her enthusiasm. But as she began to scribble brightly, Jack found himself lost in thought. He glanced at the clock. Time slid through his fingers like sand. The night felt endless, heavy with unanswered questions. A sudden knock at the door startled him. They exchanged wide-eyed glances. Lily drew closer to him, her little hand clutching his arm. "Who could that be?" "Let us see," he said cautiously as he walked toward the door, his heart hammering. He opened it to find Diana standing there, looking serious but hopeful. Behind her, the streetlight illuminated the pavement, a soft halo around her figure. "Jack, can I come in?" "Of course, come in," he replied, stepping aside. "Lily, you're drawing." Diana smiled, kneeling beside the table to admire the colorful chaos. "That's what your dad needs, a burst of happiness." "Yes. I'm making him a picture with a sun," Lily exclaimed. Diana's eyes softened. "I think he'll love it, sweetheart." Jack's pulse raced as the three sat down. "What's going on, Diana? You mentioned an update in your message?" With a deep breath, she looked at him. "I got news about Lily's dad. He's in a better place than we thought. He's been talking about wanting to see her again, but there are circumstances we need to discuss. There are steps he'll have to take first." Jack's heart sank for a moment, the weight of their mission crashing down on him. But then he felt a flicker of hope. "What kind of steps?" "It's about his rehabilitation," she explained, her gaze steady. "He's trying to turn things around, but it won't be easy. We need to support him in practical ways." Lily, unaware of the deeper implications, looked back and forth between them. "Can we see him? Like soon?" Diana paused, her expression carefully neutral. "We can help him every step of the way, but he'll need time. It's about progress, and sometimes that means trusting the process." Jack felt a surge of emotions: fear, hope, the flicker of light ahead. "Trusting the process," he murmured, letting the idea linger. Lily, sensing something was off, cocked her head. "Can we do this together? Like a team?" Jack smiled, his heart swelling with pride for her resilience. "Absolutely. We're in this as a team." As they discussed further, a shared resolve began to crystallize. Diana would help Jack and Lily navigate the next steps, the horizon no longer shrouded in fog, but illuminated by the possibility of rebuilding their lives. In that moment, the unofficial promise hung in the air between them of hope and determination, and the profound connection that came from understanding they weren't alone. But just as they were about to outline their plan, the doorbell rang again, slicing through their focus like a bolt of lightning. Jack exchanged puzzled glances with Diana and Lily. "More company?" he asked, apprehension creeping back. "Let us check," Diana replied, standing up cautiously. As they approached the door, a sense of anticipation crackled through the room. Who could be visiting them now? Jack opened the door, holding his breath. On the threshold stood a stranger, and his heart dropped. The man wore a tailored coat and a confident expression, but it was the eyes that robbed Jack of words, haunted yet filled with purpose. "I'm here about Lily's dad," the man said. "There's something you need to know." Shock coursed through Jack. What more could unfold? The man's voice was calm, yet there was an urgency that laced his words. Jack's heart raced. "What do you mean?" he asked, feeling an unexpected wash of dread sweep over him. The stranger stepped inside, glancing at Diana and Lily, who remained close by, their expressions a mix of curiosity and concern. "My name is Nathan," he said, his gaze locking onto Jack. "I'm a close friend of Lily's dad. I need to discuss his situation further." "Friend?" Jack echoed, skepticism edging his tone. He studied Nathan's face, looking for any sign of deceit. "What do you know about him?" Nathan sighed, his brow furrowing as he ran a hand through his hair. "More than you think. I know he has been struggling, and I know he wants to do better for Lily." His eyes flickered to the young girl coloring on the table, completely engrossed in her art. "But there's a lot at stake. He's in a rehabilitation program, and there are legal complications." Jack could feel frustration bubbling inside him. "What kind of complications? We need to know how to support him." "Look, I understand how important this is to you and Lily," Nathan replied, his voice lowering, almost pleading. "But the circumstances surrounding his release depend on legal permissions and a few conditions he must meet first. He's in a vulnerable position and needs people he can trust." Jack exchanged glances with Diana, and then with Lily. Innocence radiated from her, a beacon amidst the turmoil. "What kind of conditions?" he pressed, urgency building with every word. "He's ready to change." Nathan's expression softened. He is fighting hard, but he can't do this alone. He needs stable contacts outside the rehab center and to prove he can provide a good environment for Lily. That starts with regular check-ins, and I'm here to facilitate that. Will we be able to see him? Lily piped up, her small voice breaking through the tense atmosphere. Her big eyes darted between them, hope shining through. Jack's heart ached at her innocence. We'll do everything we can, sweetie, he said reassuringly, though a layer of anxiety weighed heavily on his chest. But we need to hear Nathan out. Nathan met Jack's gaze, a flicker of understanding passing between them. There will be a hearing soon. With the right documentation, we might be able to facilitate a visit, that is, if he keeps meeting his program milestones. Milestones, Jack repeated, the word echoing in his mind. Each step felt monumental, like standing on the edge of unknown waters. What if he doesn't meet them? Then we need to make sure he does. That's where you come in. Hope and family can change everything. Nathan's voice was firm yet reassuring. I'm willing to help, but it will require effort from all of us. Jack nodded slowly, a sense of determination swelling within him. We're all in. Tell us what we need to do. A moment of silence hung in the air, charged with unspoken promises and responsibilities. Jack could feel the weight shifting, a glimmer of hope blooming in the midst of uncertainty. As they sorted through the details, Jack found himself glancing back at Lily drawing her sun and rainbow, blissfully unaware of the adult world's complexities around her. She was their light. But even as plans began to take shape, another thought nagged at him. What if the struggle ahead was more challenging than they anticipated? Would they truly be ready for what lay before them? Just as they settled into the conversation, Nathan's phone buzzed, and he frowned as he glanced at the screen. I'm sorry, I need to take this. It's important. Jack watched him step outside, a mix of hope igniting alongside fresh worries. Lily continued to color, but Jack felt the urgency mounting again. The phone call meant Nathan might have more information, or worse, bad news. Would they be able to face whatever it is with the same hope they were building now? Jack held his breath, feeling the edges of his resolve tightening as he waited for Nathan's return, the air heavy with anticipation and unspoken questions. What crucial piece of information would Nathan uncover next? Jack stared out the window, the fading light casting a warm glow across the edges of the room. The atmosphere felt like an electric current, anticipation hanging in the air, thick and heavy. He could almost hear the clock ticking, each second echoing louder in the silence after Nathan had stepped outside. Lily was still at the table, her tongue peeking out in concentration as she worked on her masterpiece, a crayon-drawn landscape that was both vibrant and chaotic. Jack admired her focus, the innocence she brought to a situation that felt so complicated. It was hard to believe how much rested on the shoulders of people like him, the demand to hold everything together while bearing the weight of uncertainty. Diana walked over to him, her brow furrowed in thought. You think he's okay out there? She asked quietly. Jack nodded, though he didn't entirely believe it. Yeah, I hope so. This is important to him too, he replied, his voice reflecting the worry in his heart. He knows how much is riding on this for all of us. Diana glanced down at Lily, the little girl's laughter breaking the tension. We just have to keep reminding each other why we're doing this, she said, her hands clasped in front of her, as if holding hope tightly. Right, Jack agreed, forcing a smile. Hope and family, like Nathan said. But doubt crept in and snagged at his thoughts. Could they really make a difference? Jack pushed the feeling down, focusing his attention back on Lily. The way she drew the joy that radiated from her was a reminder of the happiness they needed to reclaim. After what felt like an eternity, Nathan returned, the weight of the world almost visible on his face. I'm back, he said, trying to sound casual, but there was no mistaking the strain in his voice. Jack's heart sank. What happened? Nathan took a moment, inhaling deeply before letting it out slowly. It was my lawyer. There's new information about Lily's dad. His eyes flicked to Lily and back to Jack. A pause lingered in the air, tension threading through. His progress is looking promising, but there's a catch. What kind of catch? Jack's gut twisted, His rehab center wants to see evidence that he has a stable support system before granting any visitation rights. They need to assess the environment he would return to. If they don't believe he can create a safe space for Lily, he might not get the chance to be a part of her life at all. Diana gasped softly, a hand pressed to her mouth. No, he wouldn't. He can change. Jack interjected, his pulse racing. We can help him prove it. We just need to show them he's capable. That we're capable. Nathan nodded, seeing the fire in Jack's eyes. Exactly. We have time, but we'll need things like character references and proof of employment. Anything that illustrates stability. Jack's mind raced. We can document everything. Get letters. Even contact old friends. He turned to Diana. We can share all he has done and how hard he is working. She smiled, her spirit igniting alongside his resolve. We can make it happen. For Lily. Don't forget, Nathan added, a serious note creeping into his voice. This isn't just paperwork. It's an emotional journey. One misstep could undo everything. Jack felt the weight of that truth pressing down on him, the reality of their efforts settling in. Then we just have to be careful and supportive. We can't let him down. From her spot at the table, Lily glanced up, her big eyes shining with hope. Are we going to see Daddy soon? Her question struck like a lightning bolt. Would they be able to keep the flickering flame of hope alive long enough to reunite her with her father? Jack swallowed hard. We're working on it, kiddo. Just give us a little time. As they began to talk through their plan, the room felt lighter, buoyed by shared conviction. But with every step forward, Jack felt a shadow looming. What if their fight wasn't enough? Just then, Nathan's phone buzzed once more, and he frowned, glancing at the screen. It's my lawyer again. I'll take this outside. The door closed behind him, leaving Jack and Diana in the room, filled with promise and doubt. They could feel the weight of Lily's expectations, the love she embodied. But amidst the hopeful discussions, an unsettling thought began to creep back in. What if the stakes were higher than they imagined? What if they didn't have enough time? Jack shifted his gaze back to Lily, who had returned to her crayon drawing, blissfully unaware of the storm brewing around them. Her laughter filled the room, a sound that seemed to push through the thick tension. He wished he could mimic her innocence, let go of all the worries that clung like shadows. Do you think he'll really want to see Lily? Diana asked, her voice heavy with concern. She nodded, her fingers together, betraying her anxiety. I don't know, Jack admitted, rubbing the back of his neck. I hope he does. We just have to believe. With each passing moment, they crafted details of their plan, but uncertainty lingered. Jack envisioned Lily's father, how a reunion might unfold. Would he embrace her? Or would he pull away, uncertain of his own feelings? Jack glanced at the drawn landscape taking shape on the table. It filled him with a sense of urgency. Lily believes in him. We have to make sure he knows we believe in him too. A moment of silence passed as quick glances were exchanged. They both understood this wasn't just about paperwork or meetings. It was about emotions, heartbeats, and the potential for healing. From outside, Nathan's voice drifted through the half-open door. He sounded tense, speaking in low tones that carried a weight Jack could feel in his bones. Jack wanted to burst outside, to hear every word, but he remained seated, hoping to hold onto the moment they built. Lily suddenly looked up, her face lighting with inspiration. Mommy, can I draw a picture for Daddy? She exclaimed, excitement sparking in her eyes. Diana blinked, a soft smile breaking through her worry. Of course, sweetie. That's a wonderful idea. As Lily dove back into her creativity, scribbling furiously, Jack caught a glimpse of something beautiful. Lily's unconditional love, her belief in the possibility of happy endings. Jack, Diana whispered, tentative. What if we don't get this right? What if he isn't able to change? A chill ran through him at the thought. We can't think like that, Dee. We have to give it all we've got. But her words struck a chord. In the back of his mind, the doubt loomed. What if their efforts weren't enough? What if the very thing they were trying to build turned into a shaky foundation, crumbling when they least expected it? Just then, the door swung open. Nathan returned. His face was pale but resolute. "I have news and it's good," he breathed, a rush of air releasing tension that the room had been holding. Jack's heart raced. "What is it?" "There are some options we can pursue right away. My lawyer believes we can set up a meeting with Lily's dad sooner than we thought. He wants to hear from us directly about the support system we're building," Nathan said, his eyes aflame. Diana leaned forward, her hope reinvigorated. "We can show him all the ways we're ready to help." Jack exhaled deeply, feeling a spark of hope ignite within him. "So we're on the right path then?" "Absolutely," Nathan said. But he hesitated, his brow furrowed. "We have to prepare for the worst too. There might be more hurdles." Lily turned in her chair, crayon frozen mid-stroke. "What does that mean?" Her innocent face searched theirs. Jack knelt by her side, the weight of their reality crumbling around the edges. "It means we have to be strong and brave. We'll face whatever comes as a family," he assured her. She nodded, eyes bright, her determination resilient. But as Jack stood, a sense of foreboding penetrated his hope. There was no escaping the feeling that their journey would test them in ways they had yet to comprehend. Suddenly Nathan's phone buzzed again, and this time, he didn't answer immediately. Instead, his face drained of color, and Jack felt a chill creep down his spine. "What is it?" Jack asked, sensing something was off. "I don't know," Nathan whispered, his voice barely above a tremble. "But I think this could change everything." With the air thickening around them, they waited, hearts pounding, as Nathan finally lifted the phone to his ear. What news awaited them on the other end? Nathan spoke quietly into the phone, his brow furrowing deeper with each passing moment. Jack could see the small muscles in his jaw clenching as a tone of urgency crept into his voice. Diana held her breath, eyes darting between Jack and the door, as if hoping for an answer to materialize out of the air. "Okay, yes," Nathan said finally, his eyes wide. "I understand. I'll let them know." He hung up the phone, his expression a mix of disbelief and determination. That was the lawyer. They found out what's holding up the case with Lily's dad. Jack took a step closer, heart thudding. "What's going on? Is it bad?" "It's complicated," Nathan said. "Apparently he's been battling some personal issues. Legal problems, emotional instability. They want to know if we're truly prepared to deal with everything it might bring." Diana's face drained of color. "But he won't be stable for Lily. How can he be a father if he is dealing with that?" Jack felt a knot tighten in his stomach. They'd been pulling hope from the depths of their worries. Yet now it felt like everything was unraveling again. "What does this mean for us?" he pressed, desperate for clarity amidst profound uncertainty. "It means we have a chance," Nathan replied, a spark of resolve igniting in his eyes. "But we also need to be realistic. If he's not ready, it could hurt Lily more than help her." A sudden silence engulfed the room, broken only by the soft scratching of crayon against paper, as Lily continued her drawing, blissfully unaware of the tumult around her. Her innocence hung heavily in the air, a stark contrast to the storm that raged within her parents. Jack glanced at Lily, her face aglow with concentration. What was she drawing? Was it a picture of her father? A hopeful future? Or something she didn't even know she wanted? He shook his head, trying to focus. They couldn't afford to let doubt overshadow the fragile hope they had built. "So what's next?" Jack finally asked, turning back to Nathan. "We still want to set up that meeting, right?" "Yes, absolutely," Nathan affirmed, determination shining through. "But I'll need you and Diana to prepare a plan not just for what we'll present, but how we'll support him through everything. He'll be facing demons, and we need to show him that he will have people standing behind him." Diana nodded slowly, the worry in her eyes replaced with a flicker of courage. "Yes, we can do that. We just need to show him how much his daughter needs him, and how much we're willing to help." Lily suddenly looked up and asked, "Can I come to see Daddy too? I just want him to be proud of me." The way she spoke, it was as though her simple words could change the world, and maybe they could. Jack swallowed hard. "We'll make sure he knows, sweetie. No matter what happens, we will stand together. Always." The depth in those simple promises struck Jack like a bolt of lightning. It was a commitment to face whatever may come. An uncertain path lay ahead, the darkness flickering at the edges. Yet there was a light in their unity, stronger than any challenge. As they began to formulate their plan, a nagging thought tugged at Jack's mind. This might be a chance for Lily's father to change. But what if he couldn't? What if their efforts only opened the door to more heartache? Jack glanced to Nathan, who was lost in thought, perhaps wrestling with similar doubts. "What are you thinking?" Jack asked. Nathan looked at him, his expression steely. "I'm just realizing this can go one of two ways. It's either redemption for him or a setback for her." And with that recognition lingering in the air, Jack's heart sank at the weight of reality. Their resolve felt tenuous, the stakes higher than ever before. But just then, Lily's voice pierced the tension, innocent and unwavering. "Can we draw a big family picture? Everyone in it, together." Tears stung Jack's eyes at her pure hope. Her sweet words became a flicker of light, igniting something deep inside. "Yes," he whispered, the resolve forming anew. "We'll draw our family picture and believe in whatever comes next." Little did they know, a new storm was brewing, one that would test their faith in ways they could never foresee. As they gathered crayons around the table, the heavy weight of uncertainty still loomed, waiting to unveil the next chapter of their journey. What surprises lurked at the edge of hope and despair? The next morning broke cold and gray, a blanket of frost covering the city. Jack woke with a sense of urgency. The stakes had never felt higher. He glanced over at Lily, still sound asleep with her sketches scattered across the blankets, capturing dreams he couldn't yet fulfill. "Today is the day," he whispered, determination flowing through him. After a quick breakfast, Jack and Diana sat down, sifted through notes, and affirmed their plan. They would present a solid support system to Lily's dad, sharing how they believed in him, and that he could be the father Lily needed. They had to act fast as the clock was ticking, and the hearing was set for the following week. Diana checked her phone. "I even reached out to a few rehabilitation counselors to get us recommendations on how to best support him," she shared, excitement underlying her voice. Each plan they put into action drew them closer to the dream. Lily emerged from her room, hair tousled but bright-eyed. "Ready for today?" Jack asked, kneeling to her height. "Yes. I made a picture for Daddy," she squealed, holding it proudly. It was a crayon masterpiece, sticks of people with beams of sunshine, rainbows arching over them. "That's beautiful, Lil." Jack's heart swelled as he looked at the words scrawled beneath. "I love you." A pang of regret swept through him for not embracing love like this sooner. "Can we take it to him?" she asked eagerly. "Absolutely, kiddo," he affirmed. It'll remind him that he's loved. With purpose in their steps, they bundled up and ventured into the winter chill, the world around them sparking with a sense of anticipation. The city was a flurry of activity, yet Jack felt like he walked in a bubble of hope. As they arrived at the rehabilitation center, nerves crept into Jack's chest. He had been so eager to make change happen, but the thought of facing Lily's father felt daunting. Diana squeezed his hand. "Remember, we're in this together," she whispered. They entered, greeted by pleasant staff who guided them into a meeting room. Jack's breath caught when Lily's father, Derek, walked in. The sunlight streaming through the window painted an almost angelic glow around him, worn yet hopeful. "Lily," his voice cracked, eyes shimmering with tears as they locked onto his daughter. "Daddy," she cried, rushing into his arms. Jack stood frozen, overwhelmed by the moment. Derek held her tight, his body shaking. "I've missed you so much." They stayed there, lost in an embrace that spoke volumes, slowly building the bridge of love they had both longed for. Jack cleared his throat, stepping closer. "Derek." "Jack," he interrupted, pulling back slightly, eyes glistening in disbelief. "I'm grateful you're here. I hear you're helping me. Together, we're here to figure this out one step at a time," Jack assured, heart pounding. "We believe in your journey back to Lily." The moments unfolded before them, details about the plans they decrafted, the emotional and legal support they were willing to provide, the transformation they hoped Derek could achieve. As the meeting progressed, Jack felt a sense of unity stitch around them, a family reconnecting, stitching together the fabric of their broken bond. "I want to be the father she deserves," Derek said, vulnerability spilling from him like an open wound. "But the road's been hard." Jack nodded, feeling the weight of his individual struggle echoing the man before him. "It's okay to ask for help. We're here to be a part of that. You stand a chance to prove you're ready." Tears rolled down Derek's face. "You give me hope," Lily, clutching her artwork, piped up. "And I want you to see how much I love you, Daddy." Her little heart spilled out in color as she presented the drawing. Derek took the picture, his eyes widening. "This is amazing, sweetheart. You made this for me?" "Yes." "You're in it." She bounded toward him, pure joy emanating like sunshine breaking through the clouds. Just then, a staff member re-entered, nodding as they reaffirmed the plan for a gradual reintroduction. "If all goes well, we can move towards supervised visits," she said, eyes soft. With understanding, the power of hope surged through Jack, but with it came an underlying fear. "Derek, remember this is just the beginning," Diana added gently. "We understand there will be hard days. We just need to support one another." "Every day of progress counts," Jack echoed firmly. Derek nodded, still holding his daughter's drawing against his chest, an emotional binding stronger than he'd experienced in years. As the meeting ended, Jack felt a weight lift, but the journey ahead still loomed heavy on him. The moment Lily and Derek reunited ignited something deep within him, a fire to protect and nurture, to mend what was once broken. This was more than support. It was the path toward redemption, family, and healing. Once they stepped outside, warmth wrapped around them, the previous storm now a distant memory. Jack beamed at Lily, who was skipping ahead, her laughter peppering the air with lightness. "Did you see how happy Daddy was?" she asked, eyes bright. "Yes, sweetie. That's what family love can do," he replied, feeling the tenderness fill his heart, a newfound commitment shoring up within him. "I feel it too," she chimed, twirling on a patch of snow. At that moment, everything felt possible. Jack knew it wouldn't all be easy, there would be struggles, even setbacks. But the promise of hope was alive, a guiding star through the darkest nights. He faced the approaching horizon knowing they would build this new family together, guiding one another through every twist and turn. And as they walked home, the path stretching before them, he felt a resilience surging, the kind forged in love and trust, braver together than they ever could be apart. This was only the beginning. Before they stepped inside, Jack turned back to look at the distance from where they came. "This is just the start," he told the universe, filled with faith. Together, they were not just surviving anymore, they were beginning to truly live. And in this beautiful intertwining of lives, a family story was unfolding, lit by the most brilliant of hopes. Now, if you loved this transformative journey and want to be part of more, you need to subscribe immediately to our channel. Don't miss our next exclusive stories that will uplift and inspire you. Leave a like now to supercharge our reach, and join our growing community. Share your feelings about this ending in the comments, let us know how this transformation resonated with you. And please, don't wait not even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this change. Only true fans understand the importance of supporting our mission to share heartfelt tales like this. Join us on this amazing journey.